Orleans was home to Higgins Industries, the company that made the landing boats used extensively in World War II for amphibious landings. It's the reason that the National World War II Museum is even here in the city. And today, people came from all over the country for this 80th D-Day service. And Meg Ferris is joining us now live from the museum with more on that. Meg?
Yes, and Katie, there are still a substantial amount of people here commemorating today. And you know, there were more than 16 million World War II veterans, and they're dying at a fast rate. Less than 1% are still alive. So last year, that was only about 119,000 because they're dying at a rate of 131 a day. Now, today, in the commemoration ceremony, there were about 700 people, and there were only a handful of D-Day veterans who were there. It was standing room only at the National World War II Museum for the 80th anniversary of D-Day. And stand and clap they did for the veterans rolled in wheelchairs who were in Normandy during and right after the largest seaborne invasion in history, June 6, 1944. They were thanked by Rabbi Scott Hoffman.
Experts say that 10,000 Jews every week lost their lives until the Allies arrived at the gates of those camps, meaning that the D-Day landing among Jewish lives alone saved roughly 150,000 souls.
80 years forward, that's a half to 3/4 descendants who would not be alive today without the bravery of teens and young adults who fought for something much bigger than themselves. One of those Jewish men who fought in Normandy is the late Dr. Hal Baumgarten, who went back to Normandy Cemetery in 1988 and was inspired to write 3 books.
And I started to cry, and I looked up at my wife and knelt over the graves, and I said, these guys can't talk anymore. Nobody will ever know what they did, what their names are, unless I speak about them.
Generation Z is the age these men were back then. So what does the greatest generation want to say to Gen Z?
I want them to think about the history. They're not being taught history today. And that's very important. And they're not gonna understand until people like us start teaching.
Back in the war years, everybody was patriotic. Today, it isn't that way. I'm very sad. They should learn to be good citizens. A good citizen will look after each other, and right now we're not at that point.
And then when the Japanese attacked, that unified everybody. The country is in such turmoil right now.
America is one of the best in the world to be living in.
And Katie, as you know, sometimes a story assignment can tug on you personally and emotionally. And today in the ceremony, they asked all the children of World War II veterans to raise their hands. And when I did, I realized that I have the privilege and the freedom to bring this story to you today because my father was one of the lucky ones who came home. Reporting live from the World War II Museum, Meg Ferris, WWL, Louisiana.
Well, Meg,